I can never make my mind up about British Airways, at least not until this trip. Are they a disgrace, as I said in my review of them last year, or are they a national pride for the UK? Today I'm flying their club suites on a 777 from Nairobi, Kenya, before continuing on their classic A380 Club World from London to Miami. Join me, Dan, an avgeek who's been reviewing airlines for over a decade, for an honest, self-funded review as always, as I spent almost 24 hours on British Airways. Let's go.
Good evening, guys. It is way past my bedtime, but I'm about to embark on 18 hours of flying with British Airways, a 22-hour journey from Nairobi, Kenya to Miami, Florida.
I pull up to Nairobi Airport, check in, past this stunning artwork behind immigration, and head to my lounge of choice today, the Plaza Premium Lounge. Long story short, it's a remarkable lounge and far exceeds my expectations compared to, say, the Kenya Airways lounge.
Wow, what a dinner. This is an unexpectedly good end to the day. We didn't expect to eat anything tonight, so the fact I got such a big spread is great.
The buffet in this lounge is truly top-notch.
Okay, not only do they have a lot of options, but the food actually tastes so good. Oh, wow.
So it's time to head to the gate.
This first flight is on a 777-200. It was supposed to be on an A350, which luckily it's the same seat, but it still feels like quite a downgrade to go from a brand new, beautiful A350, which keeps you feeling fresh, to a 22-year-old 777. And of course, OSKAR is coming along.
I'm back again. I'm back again.
So today's flight is completely full. It looks crazy. I don't think I'll dare to vlog at the gate because it's going to be awkward. But this is an overnight flight. We're about an hour delayed, so it's going to be leaving at about midnight, close to midnight local time in Nairobi, landing in London around 6:30 a.m. at this point, I think. Tonight's flight is in club suites. Tomorrow's flight is in the old classic Club World on the A380. So we're gonna get a really nice compare and contrast there. And honestly, I'm really excited about both. Today's flight is mostly sleep though.
This part of Nairobi Airport makes Heathrow look like Singapore Changi, but given that I've arrived at the gate quite late, I can step aboard this oldie but goodie in no time. I love how you can see the mood lighting doing its thing so clearly before you even board. So, the British Airways 777-200 fleet comes in quite a few different configurations. The most important thing to know is that all these aircraft based at Heathrow now feature club suites, which is great. This specific bird does not have a first class cabin, instead offering 184 economy class seats, a massive 40 premium economy seats, and an even more impressive 48 seat business class cabin. On today's flight, since I know I'll be sleeping almost the whole 8 hours, I've opted for one alpha as opposed to my usual spot in the last row. Given how loud the 777-200 is, this is a good choice from an engine noise perspective as well. Both the last rows in this configuration, rows 7 and 14, also have missing windows on BA, which obviously isn't very fun. There are 3 business class lavatories in this config spread between 48 passengers for a great lavatory ratio of 16:1. If you're on the configuration with first class, this is what your bird will look like inside instead. It's similar with 3 lavatories, but there's one extra business class seat here. The mini cabin at the front is definitely the place to sit if you're in this configuration. So let's hop on board. Since I'm boarding on the later side and sitting in row 1, oh boy is it difficult to record in here, but hello, doesn't my seat look stunning?
So if you want to see more of a review of this specific product in daylight, check out the review in the card now. The title is negative, but the flight itself, not too bad. So you have some bedding, which is what will come in handy tonight from the White Company. I'm going to talk about this in a second, or actually when I go to sleep. A very plush, lovely pillow. It's 11 p.m, boarding is complete, and I am ready for some sleep. So we've got our menu. I don't know if I'm planning to eat. Maybe if I wake up in time for breakfast, we can check out the breakfast options, but dinner is going to be a no-go tonight, and so far no pre-departure drinks or hot towels or anything like that. So let's see what happens. But wow, it's such a beautiful sort of moody cabin with this mood lighting. It feels good.
As I mentioned, I have a detailed review of this seat in a video linked below, but to summarize it, it's a great seat. It's not perfect, few seats are, but I'd gladly sit here anyway. I especially appreciate the copious amounts of storage as a serial overpacker. The pre-departure service finally commences. I go wild and order water before I peruse the menu. This is all Kenya-based catering and sounds pretty good. I'll be saving my eating for the next flight though, since the plan for now is just to sleep. We soon blast out of pitch dark Kenya, heading northwest toward London.
So for me, I'm trying to maximize sleep. I have a 4.5 hour, oh my God, this is hot. Okay, wait. Okay, we took off about 10 minutes ago. Now I'm just waiting for the seatbelt sign to turn off so I can get into bed mode, go to sleep. I brought pajamas. So we have a Virgin Atlantic top, which I love, and Emirates bottoms, which are just the most comfortable airplane pajamas in my opinion. So I'm gonna get into that. They said we have a slightly longer flight time than usual, which I know to some people that have connections might be a bit concerning, but for me, I have a 4.5 hour layover in London, so definitely no rush. I would rather shave time off of that and just get to enjoy this beautiful little club suite.
I make the bed, which looks oh so comfy, but the seatbelt sign is never turned off, so I can't change into pajamas. As you can see, we have 8.5 hours left to London, so if I'm gonna catch my 8 hours, it needs to happen stat.
This is one of those moments where I just feel so grateful to be flying in business class. And I paid, like, the deal I got on this is absolutely incredible. For now, good night, you guys. I will see you as the adventure continues, unless I wake up in the middle of the night because of turbulence, or God forbid, like diverting somewhere. Why am I thinking this path? Okay, anyway, good night. I'll see you in a few hours. No, I said I was going to sleep, but they turned off the seatbelt sign, so I managed to record the seat. I just have to comment on how comfortable this bed is. This is an underrated feature in business class. Some seats look very amazing, like Qatar Airways Q Suite. I love that seat, it's fantastic. But in bed, it's not the most comfortable. It's quite hard. You have to really squeeze in by your feet, but here it's like, okay, the bed is soft, the seat is wide, the leg space is so plentiful, which is really, really underrated. And then, I always think for an overnight flight, I love choosing Club Suite. I flew it a few years ago from New York to London, slept like a baby, so now officially good night. Hoping to sleep like a baby right now again.
8 hours later.
That was quick. The magic of YouTube.
Good morning. So supposedly, according to my watch, I slept 5.5 hours, which I guess isn't too bad. I was hoping for a bit more. I know the sleep didn't feel very good. I think actually the times I sleep well on a plane are ultimately the times when I'm fully exhausted. So that's the difference here. There's one thing I really appreciate about British Airways that I'm going to talk about after landing. A really underrated feature of many airlines when it comes to sleeping on board. For now, let's quickly check out the entertainment system, because hopefully it's as good as last time I flew and we can say something good about that. Well, I was gonna show you this, but it is not responding at all. No. Okay, we'll do it on the next flight. Never mind, it works again. Let me guide you through this.
British Airways continues to have an incredibly impressive and extensive in-flight entertainment selection, definitely among the best in Europe. Just look at how many seasons of Friends they have. Whoa.
Even though I tend to criticize Heathrow a lot, I'm always very excited to land there just because of the food options. So we have 4 hours now, well, I guess 3 if you consider boarding for the next flight, but
3 hours to just eat. I have some things in mind I want to have already, and of course, I'll share all my favorites with you. On today's flight, we flew over all types of places, which, let's just say diverting to would have been a real adventure. Although I've been to 102 countries, the only country we flew over in Africa that I've been to before is Uganda. And in typical fashion, we touched down in the most British weather I can imagine. I'm really happy and excited to be here though. Bye to my beautiful club suite. See you not so soon. Terminal 5. Heathrow only allows a limited number of arrivals before 6 a.m. Today there were 10. We were the very last one, but there was no plane that landed within the 20 minutes before ours, which at Heathrow is absolutely insane. There were tons of planes circling, ready to land at 6 a.m. on the dot, and after that. So now, basically, what this means is that there are no planes that landed for quite a while. So we get really a head start to the lounge, to the showers, and to transit security. So that's a nice bonus to get everything over and done with and skip to the good part. So we just made it through transit security, super easy. I'm thinking we're just gonna go straight to the lounge, gallery south, take a shower, and then have some fun in the terminal. Maybe go to Wagamama's, Pret, Itsu. Oh my God, there's so many places. I won't even need to eat on the next flight. So yeah, now let's get this layover started. What a luxury to be at Heathrow before the morning rush has even started, at least during transit. The departure area, on the other hand, is crazy. Here's hoping the line isn't too long for the showers, because security ended up taking quite a while because my bag got randomly selected to be searched, and there was so many bags waiting to be searched. But anyway, now we're on our way. The shower wait is a total of 0 seconds. Success. Score. Okay, there was no wait, so let me quickly hop in the shower and then let's go explore Terminal 5 because we're not staying at galleries, lounges. BA's shower rooms are much appreciated, even though they look and feel like you're on some sort of tiny spaceship with limited space and no room for luxury. That was refreshing, wasn't it?
It was, and now we are like, what are those squirrels called in English?
Oh yeah, we're kind of matching. So we are heading to the lounge quickly because I want to see if they have some potato chips. So as you hear, the plan is to get potato chips, but we might as well check out the whole breakfast spread, right? Can you predict what's gonna happen here? Okay, we found probably the most private place to sit. I always have the impression that gallery lounges are kind of like a zoo, and sometimes they are, but this part here, all the way at the end toward, I guess, security is out here. There's no one. We have complete privacy, so we're gonna bring some food actually and just start our day of eating here with a little bit of English breakfast.
The English breakfast in question, naturally, sweet chili and red pepper chips.
These are so good. I went to the BA lounge a few weeks ago and I was devastated when they didn't have these. So this to me is like the best thing in any British Airways lounge. They cost like £2-3 at the store, so grab several and, you know, get your money's worth. So guys, what I wanted to tell you when I woke up, one very underrated feature, which I never talk about in my reviews. I feel like most people don't talk about it when they review airlines, but what happens when there's turbulence? Does the captain turn off the seatbelt sign immediately? Do they make an announcement? Because I can't count the number of red eyes I've been on where you're trying to sleep, but every little bump, you know, every 30 minutes, the seatbelt sign is going on and off, and then the cabin crew make an announcement, or the captain saying, please suspend hot beverage service, everyone return to your seats. And it's like, yeah, everyone is in their seats because they're trying to sleep. So that's something I really appreciated on this flight, that there were bumps along the way, but they didn't turn the seatbelt sign on. There were no announcements, so they just let people sleep, which is so valuable. So breakfast, we have a couple of hash browns and baked beans for the Brit in me, and one of my favorite fruits, grapefruit.
Just a tiny bit of grapefruit.
Yeah, I mean, I love grapefruit. And some grapes. Grape and grapefruit, oh my God. So I was born in the UK, I lived here until I was 9, and one of those things, I don't know if you guys like baked beans, but to me it's like, yeah, everyone likes baked beans. And then I moved to Sweden,
And everyone was like, what? You like baked beans? So I love baked beans.
Besides sitting in this corner, as I mentioned, this is far from my favorite lounge, so once we've eaten, it's time to leave.
Oh, what do you check that out? It's our aircraft for the next flight. So we're just gonna stop by some places now fast, buy some snacks, and then head to our A380.
We're actually jumping onto this, flying to Miami.
Yeah.
We're holding on to it.
Yeah, just
And
this
they're,
is
just
taking
take us there.
We're just like...
Terminal 5 is absolutely chaotic today, so we only make it to Pret, no time for Wagamama, no time for shopping. That will all have to be next time.
So I'm a little disappointed in us. We only got Pret out of all the options. A 4-hour layover actually isn't as long as you think it is, because this just literally flew by.
After taking the train, we ascend to the most satisfying thing ever, the exact aircraft that flew us in from Nairobi. Not only that, but our next aircraft to Miami is literally parked right next door.
And as we come up from the train, what is this? Our aircraft. The A380 just, wow. There is no better way to fly. It doesn't matter if it's the old seat. Well, we'll see what I say after the flight, but before it now, I'm just like, every time you see it, it feels like such a treat. It's like the most decadent chocolate cake equivalent of airplanes. So this is my plane, or our plane from Nairobi. And this is our plane going onwards. But we had to go all the way over here to transit.
This absolute stunner is mothering its way around Heathrow, and I cannot wait to board, but not before.
Okay, they have one more fave that we can add before the flight. This is what I find so fun about transiting in London. Even if there can be so many problems at Heathrow, the stores, I mean, look, you can buy so many books. Like, I just feel like so many airports in Europe lack the basic essentials, like easy to access pharmacies or grab and go foods that are not like super strange. So yeah, this is the perks. I can't believe the layover is already over. It is time to hop on board our 9-hour flight, 9-hour plus flight to Miami. This is so like someone coming to the UK for the first time being like, they have to have Harry Potter.
My mate's getting out of one.
So quickly before we board, you may be wondering, Dan, why are you flying from Nairobi to Miami? And let me tell you, that's not even the end of this ticket. I'm flying Nairobi, London, London, Miami. Then tomorrow, I'm flying Miami, Washington, D.C., D.C., Pittsburgh. And then a week later, I return Pittsburgh, New York, New York, London, London, Nairobi, but I don't think I'm going to actually be able to make it to the Nairobi flight. We will see. So it is a crazy itinerary, and I paid about $1,500 round trip for all those flights in business class. What if I told you that almost 500 people like you from my viewers have changed the way they travel and managed to save between 20 and up to my best savings, 92% on a business or first class ticket, using what I teach in my Points Master program. Now, before you click off and you go, but I'm not American, I don't want credit cards, don't worry, you can live anywhere in the world with any citizenship to take full advantage of what I teach in my Points Master program. It's from a decade of traveling on award flights all around the world. We're talking hundreds and hundreds of first and business class flights. All that knowledge is condensed into an efficient program you can complete anywhere you want with lifetime access, so you can potentially be booking your first, or who knows, 10th or 100th business or first class flight with huge savings within a few hours of joining Points Master. But better yet, if you're catching this video early, there are 17 discounted spots left with my late planner sale, where you can have a pretty nice discount if you claim one of those 17 remaining spots before July 16th. You know, this video not having a sponsor is a huge risk and a huge investment I made, and the best way you can support the channel is to join Points Master, but it's really a win-win because you're pretty much guaranteed to recoup the investment you make on Points Master in your very first premium cabin booking. With that, let's get on with the video. So without further ado, let's check out this beauty. I know the seat map looks like the Frontier airline of seat maps, but I can't spend almost a whole day making another seat map for an aircraft that's going to be reconfigured very soon. So here we get to enjoy a 2021 seat map, which can also make us appreciate the progress I've made in designing those. The British Airways Airbus A380 comes in a 4-class configuration with 3 classes of service on the upper deck, which is quite rare. There's first class downstairs and some more business class seats you'll want to avoid, but up here we have economy all the way at the back, premium economy in the middle, and then 2 business class cabins in a 2-3-2 layout. This seat is being phased out and will start being replaced by club suites on the A380 next year, but for now, it's still a decent option. You'll see the main reason the upper deck is preferable on board, but keep in mind British Airways charges over $100 per flight on many sectors to pre-select a seat. Crazy. But if you have a choice, the window seats in row 53 and 59 are the best since they have direct aisle access unlike all other rows. You'll see why as we hop on board. Welcome to this unique looking cabin. I have the feeling this will be the last time I ever get to fly this revolutionary seat, so I'm gonna make the most of this.
Okay, I'm obsessed with OSKAR's seat here. This is 50J Juliet. And it's like literally just in this like stair area.
I'm the captain now.
So we realized a drawback.
I mean, I kind of wish there was like a wall here or something, a divider, because
the toilet door.
it's right there. Like I'm gonna get a peek inside everyone's business.
This cabin is such a fun relic from the past. The A380 upper deck offers these huge storage compartments along the side in all cabins that make the seat go from having barely any storage to having insane amounts of storage if you're sitting by the windows. Well, if your row has windows, RIP.
So let's have a little bit of a look around. Here on the side you see we have all these lockers, which is what I love about sitting on the upper deck of the A380. These are not available on the lower deck if you're in business class. And we have our pre-departure orange juice. My hopes are not too high. Maybe I'm being critical, but no, I'm exaggerating, but it's just, no, airline orange juice 9 out of 10 times is not good, right? Isn't it? Yeah, it's OSKAR agrees.
I concur.
That's one thing, like I feel like a lot of people when they fly business class for the first time or they see a video about it, for example, they think that everything is going to be better, but this is the same orange juice you get in economy class, guys. I think the difference is maybe more in the champagnes and that kind of stuff. I've said it before, but I'll say it again. The old Club World, I don't know the name of this seat specifically, but it is actually pretty amazing when you're traveling with someone else because...
Okay, stay in your seat.
What I meant to say is, it's nice to face each other.
So our little entertainment screen pops out like this. Hello? This is so flimsy. Okay. If there's turbulence, the screen is just going to be going like this. Oh my god, crazy movie. Starting next year, these aircraft will be reconfigured with club suites. So it is kind of a nice last farewell to normal Club World today. But I think club suites will be a very nice upgrade when the A380 is already so amazing. To add those amazing seats to it, beautiful. Although the real question is the soft product on BA, which is what we're really going to test out today when I unbox the Amenity Kit. There's so much to see. So down here, sorry, oh, actually maybe I can, okay, I'm going to place this here and then we can close this. The whole design of this seat feels very outdated, but down here we have our main other storage besides the sides. So here's the Amenity Kit. Here is a water bottle and charging, which is very nicely located. Not really, but also please, if any of you are very technical, can you tell me what are these cables for? Is this for plugging your computer in so you can see it on the screen? Or I know this is very retro these days, but I can't imagine someone bringing this type of cable on a flight. So during takeoff, since I need to record out the window and I want to see out the window, this is going to be me strapped in here and then just trying to get a view, but at least once I sat down, it's not as far as I thought it was when I initially saw it when we boarded. Then I was like, my video is screwed, but I think it's fine.
We have a lot of time to sit here after boarding since the A380 boards premium cabin so early. I basically have time to show you almost everything. What do you say we check out the Amenity Kit from the White Company?
Okay, what do we think about the classical music on BA? Let me just unbox the Amenity Kit. So I have a feeling this table is not remotely clean. So in fact, I'm gonna just quickly sanitize it before I put any of this stuff on it.
Here we have the kit contents. Pretty nice. I'm amazed that all this fits in here.
Okay, I also just tried the lip balm. It's actually not bad.
I also have a moment to show you the forward lavatory before we push back. It's crazy to think this is where Emirates puts their shower spas. Eventually, we start our taxi toward runway 27 left.
So, Club World menu. What is inside? What? Well, let's check it out if I can open it. So, okay. This looks familiar. Nice to have non-alcoholic beer and afternoon tea. I have a feeling it's a good thing we bought extra food because this is not that much food for a 9+ hour flight. And the wine and champagne list.
Welcome on board, everyone.
So long, London. As we enter the clouds, the cabin suddenly looks very sleek, but in the moment, I don't quite appreciate that apparently.
So we just took off. I'm sitting here and I go, why do I feel so down? What's going on? And I realize, look how monochrome this cabin is. Like, where's the color? Where's the life? After flying Emirates yesterday, which is literally the polar opposite, this just feels so, I don't know why I just identified it too, but it feels a little sad.
Due to the unique configuration, you don't technically have direct aisle access, but it has nothing to do with OSKAR next to me. The person I have to step over is the guy in the row behind. To start the meal service, I enjoy this beautiful drink.
So I'm starting out with the drink I had last time I flew, well, not on the previous flight, but my previous trip in Club World. The Fizzberry Mocktail, which I remember being really good. It has cranberry juice, which was my favorite juice as a kid. And I always felt like so amazed when I boarded United or Continental Airlines back then. And they had cranberry juice and I was like, oh my God. Little did I know how much sugar was in it, but oof. Ooh, this is good stuff.
It's served along with some nuts. Yum. While I wait for the meal service to truly begin, let me show you one of the coolest things about this seat. The privacy partition here in the middle. When you raise it, you're really in your own private cocoon.
I remember being so blown away by this the first time I flew this seat, because especially back then, even to this day, if you're in a window seat here, it is so unbelievably private. It's more private than Club Suite, I would say, unless it's down and you're staring at a stranger next to you. But yeah, it's I mean, oh, okay, here's the stranger next to me now. Okay, food is here about 70 minutes after takeoff.
The meal is pretty much all things I love. Beluga lentils, semi-dried tomatoes, roasted eggplant at the bottom. Delish. The side dish looks a little more sad, and so does the bread. This is all part of my special vegetarian meal, by the way. The main course arrives and looks interesting. I was hoping for an Indian or Thai curry, which British Airways catering company Doe & Co. usually do well, but regardless, let me dig in and let you know what I think.
Okay, listen, I'm probably one of the least picky eaters on earth. I like pretty much everything. So my question is, did anyone at British Airways catering try this dish before they decided to serve it in a many $1,000 business class product because it's just not good at all. So I'm very glad we got Pret. I mean, I've said it before, I'll say it again. If Marks and Spencer's or Pret could do BA's long haul catering instead of Doe & Co., I'd be down for that.
Dessert, a tiny chocolate with berries. How was it? Delicious. At this point, we've made it about halfway across the Atlantic, and given my limited sleep last night, it is time for a nap. But first, I need to try out the Wi-Fi.
Okay, let me show you this, because I tried connecting to the Wi-Fi, and I'm quite impressed. Browse and stream. So basically, for £18, you can get a pass that is supposedly fast enough for video streaming. It's only on one device, unfortunately, but I'm going to try this out and report to let you know how it is. Okay, I tried loading Flight Radar 24 to track our specific flight. This is the first thing I'm looking up, and so far, not even this is loading. So the fact you're allegedly supposed to be able to stream a video on this, I don't know.
Let's forget about the Wi-Fi then and check out the bed. This is a happy reunion with British Airways' awesome pillow. Honestly, how cozy does this look? The seat is definitely in need of being replaced padding-wise, but I'll sleep just fine here.
How do you spot the Americans and how do you spot the Europeans, and how do you know if there's more Europeans on a transatlantic flight than another one? Like this, more than half the cabin, or about half the cabin, has their window shades open. I have a feeling if there were more Americans on board, everything would be closed, which, I don't know. I love being able to look out. I love the daylight. So for me, this is a benefit of flying with European airlines with more European passengers.
The last step, lowering my footrest.
So we have about 6 hours and 40 minutes left to Miami, meaning I've already spent about 16 hours on my British Airways trip, which is crazy. Not only that, but I started my journey in Dubai 30 hours ago. I flew Emirates down to Nairobi to position for this ticket, which is, wow, I am in very good shape considering I've been traveling for that long. I'm going to take a 2-hour nap now. I just have to show you something because this seat is incredibly private once you raise the partition and you're in bed mode here in the windows.
Are you ready for this? Check this out, a literal private cocoon. See you guys shortly.
2 hours later.
Ooh, good morning. That was a nap. I really slept there for a while, so that was amazing. Again, I'm noticing this awesome thing about British Airways that honestly, we have pretty moderate turbulence right now. We have had it for about 30 minutes. That's why I woke up. And there's no sign of a seatbelt sign being turned on. There's no announcement. So, I mean, at a certain point, it's like, okay, maybe you should turn it on. But at the same time, I appreciate that it's like, people can make their own decisions. People are smart. If you feel it's really bad and you don't want to get up, then don't get up. But also, if you need to use the toilet, then you're smart enough to be careful. Just so I'm going to show you here how much the water is moving, just for reference about the turbulence.
The Wi-Fi still isn't working and I'm hungry, so I head to the onboard snack bar to check that out. Most people seem to just be chilling on today's flight, which is so nice to see in our toxic productivity culture, huh? Given what I just said, this isn't a good look, but I do actually need to attend to some work before the pre-landing meal is served. Ironically, this afternoon tea is so much better than the prior meal, and I actually love this. We have everything from avocado to smashed peas to sun-dried tomatoes to an absolutely delicious dessert. Not a huge portion, but I'm happy.
I just looked at the map and we're approaching the coastline, but somehow my brain does not compute that we've already arrived. When I started this video, I felt like it was going to be the longest travel day ever, but somehow it feels like it has gone so incredibly fast. I can't believe we're already here. I'm just hoping for a speedy immigration, getting to our hotel so we can get some sleep. But wow, this has been so comfortable, so easy. But as always, I have some constructive criticism that I'm going to go over in a second.
And so we approach Miami. It almost feels like an honor arriving somewhere on an A380 since you just know you're a big deal. Am I right? what can I say about British Airways, guys? To me, they are the definition of average. I wouldn't avoid them, at least if it wasn't for Heathrow, but I also wouldn't seek them out by any means, and I wouldn't be excited to fly them. The cabin crew on both these flights were fine. They didn't go out of their way to make the flights feel special or memorable, but they also weren't bad. I guess the conclusion is that there's almost always a more exciting airline to fly, whatever your route is, but British Airways also isn't a bad option, so don't be sad if you end up on them. The real interesting thing is comparing them to Virgin Atlantic, which I'm not gonna do today.
Alright, we've made it to the US. Hopefully now, yeah, no line for immigration or very little. And hopefully we'll get some good shots of the A380 as we're leaving. I still can't believe how fast this journey went. So we made it out. Passport control took all of 1 minute, and then we waited for the bags for like 45 minutes. So I guess you end up not really saving much time anyway. It feels like I feel kind of tired, but the weirdest feeling is being in the US. Like my brain cannot compute right now, but hopefully tomorrow morning it'll all settle in time for us to pretty much leave again. Thanks for joining me in today's video, guys. I just want to point out now there are 15 spots left, so even fewer than when I recorded the earlier clip, to join PointsMaster at a discounted price. You can do that by scanning the QR code or tapping the link at the top of the description. Regardless of whether you get the discounted price or not, PointsMaster can be life-changing for you, as it's been for hundreds of other people. I cannot wait to see you in my next video. It will be about 3 weeks until that, but hopefully from August onwards, from the second week of August onwards, there will be a video every 10 days. Until I see you in the next video, as always, guys, fly safe.